Neural networks are a key concept in artificial intelligence and machine learning systems. But how exactly do they work? Well, it's quite a simple explanation really, because they're actually modelled on the way the human brain works. So typically with the human brain, we have neurons, and connections are built up between neurons in the brain. So when it comes to an activity such as learning to ride a bike, for example, the way that this works is a child will begin by being rather clumsy on the bike, possibly falling off the bike. So as they work through this process, connections in the brain strengthen, and ultimately over time the child learns through trial and error to not make the same mistakes, and actually to start to coordinate in such a way that they're able to fully ride the bike. And this applies to lots of other contexts in human learning. Ultimately, as humans, we tend to learn via trial and error. If we get something wrong, our brain will essentially update the connections between those neurons to strengthen those connections or to weaken them, as the case may be, so that eventually we learn how to do something in the correct manner. Now, we can also look at the concept of deep learning. So if we take our high-level abstraction of a neural network, we can see here that if we were designing some form of system or training a model that was able to classify different pictures and tell you whether they were pictures of wolves or dogs, for example. And we see lots of image recognition and classification models. So in this example, we would provide some training data, so lots and lots of photographs of dogs and wolves in lots of different positions. And then this goes into our neural network. And as we can see, these middle layers effectively take that input and create an abstraction of that input. They take the key attributes that are required, the dimensions that are required, and they then apply this. And we don't need to go into the details of what happens in these hidden middle layers. But ultimately, this is all about a series of processes that will allow the neural network, or the deep learning model, to understand whether an input is a dog or a wolf and classify that with a degree of certainty. So as we can see, when we get through to the output, the decision is that this is 90% dog, 10% wolf. So the neural network is able to utilize what it's already learned from seeing pictures of dogs and wolves to actually understand the difference when it's given a completely new input. So again, very similar to the human brain, where we're able to apply knowledge learned in one domain into another.